technician, chart is the most important tool. So for a technician, probably if chart is the most important tool, there are two basic inputs you always get from the exchanges. From NSE or BSE, you will get two basic inputs. One is the price, OHLC, open, high, low, and close, and you will get the volume. Two basic inputs, right? Nothing more than this. And any other indicator, if you're looking at, let's say RSI, CCA, Commodity Chart Index, CCI, or MACD, or ADX, or any damn indicator has to be derived from one of these two. Either could be on price, could be on volume, right? So there are 5 basic windows to analyze the market. One is the price action. Probably you might have learned something about Dow theory in your support resistances, higher highs and higher lows. That is price, and then comes the volume. And the third most important aspect of the chartist is a momentum, which is RSI or MACD, and fourth aspect is volatility, right? Which is called as volatility. Momentum, and then comes the volatility. Basically, the last part would be the time part, which we will not look at, like Gann time cycles, Fibonacci time cycles. A lot of things are there, but 5 windows: price, volume, momentum, volatility, and time. Today we will discuss not on the price, not on the volume. Obviously, we'll discuss on something called as volatility. What do you understand by volatility? What is volatility? Basically, if you take an example of, let's say, ITC and Jet Airways, you know what is it. ITC is a low beta, low volatile stock, because the movement, probably if you give the complete year, ITC may not move more than 15%, right? If you look at Jet Airways, it can move 15% in a matter of a day. So volatile a stock can get. So basically, how to measure? Because if you are a trader, it is best to trade on Jet Airways rather than ITC. It is, if you are an option buyer, it is better to buy options on Jet Airways than ITC, because if you are an option trader, you need to have if you're an option buyer, time is against you. You should have your price target being met very fast. So for that, how fast a market can move is basically judged based on the volatility of the market. And one such, there are a lot of indicators which judges volatility. One of the basic indicator, or probably one of the best indicator that I have found, is Bollinger Band, right? I was fortunate enough to learn Bollinger Bands from John Bollinger himself. And from my experience of using Bollinger Bands, I'm going to explain how John Bollinger uses Bollinger Band and my couple of other things which I have done myself, right? Basically, what is volatility? One of the tools that John Bollinger uses for understanding volatility is standard deviation. What is standard deviation? If I take 10 data points, and if I calculate the average of the 10 data points, right? Let's say let me take a height. So 5.2 height of people, 5.2, 5.4, 5.5, and 4.8. Let's say I'm just taking 5 inputs. What is the average of these inputs? 4.8, 5, 5.2. You need to add all those things, and let's assume that you get a average of 5.25. This is the average of last 5 data points. This is the line I've drawn, 5.25 here. And basically, I try to plot on this scale. Let's say this is 5.25, and the left side is decreasing. Let's say it is 4.8 here, 5 is here, 5.2, 5.4, and 5.5. From the average, 5.5 is almost 0.5 points away, 0.5. 5.4 is just 0.4 away, right? So how far a data point from its average is a deviation, right? It is deviating from the average. There's a deviation from the average, and this basic concept of bell curve is basically used for volatility, understanding volatility. One of the basics for this is this. You might know normal distribution curve, wherein this is the average, and you start drawing a bell curve like this. Normal distribution, standard deviation curve, right? And the one standard deviation move. What is one standard deviation? If I take all these inputs like this and I plot, 68% of the data points will be within the one standard deviation move. 34% on the left side, 34% on the right side. 95, if I want to capture 95% of the data, then I have to move to the 2 standard deviation move, right? And 3 standard deviation move almost as 99 data points. That means what? How far a particular data point is away from the mean. That is what a standard deviation is. This will also measure the volatility. How is it measuring the volatility? Let's assume Jet Airways. Let's assume the average price of last 10 days is 500, and this stock can move 15% up or 15% down in any month. And let's take ITC, which can move hardly 2%, 3% up or 3% down. So you can certainly say that Jet Airways is a more volatile stock and ITC is a less volatile stock. For a trader, high volatile stock is very, very, very important because you will make fast bucks, especially for options guy if you're doing an options. So this is the basic input for Bollinger Band is 20 period moving average. That means I am taking the average of last 20 periods and then slap a 2 standard deviation bands. This is the basic input which John Bollinger himself recommends, and he also uses the same thing, right? Let's look at the price action. What is happening in price action? Price action, probably if you look at this candlestick chart, probably you might know. You may not understand much because there is no structure to this. Market has been going down or market has been going up. You don't see much of the structure. Let's try to define the structure using Bollinger Bands. It will be a little more helpful for you. Let's put a 20 period simple moving average. And then I slap a Bollinger Band, which is 20 period on a 2 standard deviation move. Let me first take 1 standard deviation move, right? 1 standard deviation move. This 1 standard deviation move, you can see the price action within these bands is pitiless. I said 68% data only will stay between this. And most of the times, price action will be outside these bands. These bands are what? These bands are 1 standard deviation away from the 20 period moving average. You can see not much of the data you can fit into this 1 standard deviation move. That is what this bell curve was also saying. Only 68% of the data you can fit within the 1 standard deviation from the moving average. Let's move on to the next one, which is 2 standard deviation move. Wherein you can fit, I said you can fit 95% of the data. Let me mute you guys because you are picking up a lot of noise from me.
No, actually,
yeah, you can. I have slapped the 20 period moving average and I have picked up 2 standard deviation bands wherein you can see most of the data, unlike 1 standard deviation, you can see most of the data fits into this. That is what I said by 2 standard deviation. Okay. And the last thing which I showed to you is a 3 standard deviation move, wherein almost 99% of the data will get fit into this bands. That means what? Price is hardly going outside this band and price is hardly going outside this lower band, which is called as upper band. The middle one is the middle band and the lower one is the lower band. So upper band, middle band and lower band. This is the basic structure of a Bollinger Band, wherein the middle band is a 20 period simple moving average. 20 period simple moving average. 2 standard deviation apart. I'm going to use, this is 3 standard deviation, wherein you see most of the price action will not leave the band. That means most of the price action will not exceed this upper band, lower band, because this is the 3 standard deviation move. How do we use this is, we will not use 3 standard deviation move because there is no fun there. The fun starts with 2 standard deviation move, wherein 95% of the data fits in, right? You can see the price action, the entire price action, now it gets defined between the 2 bands. You can see that right now here. Earlier, if I remove the bands, you will not see a structure, but whereas right now you can see the price is in relation to these bands and the middle band in some relation. We will see how the relation works. Okay. You can see some structure. You can see some defined structure when it comes to once I slap a Bollinger Band to it. And how do we do this? How do we use Bollinger Band for trading? We'll see first now. Right? Understood the structure, 20 period moving average, and slap a 2 standard deviation band above the moving average and below the moving average. Basically, if I am saying the middle band, which is thick blue line, is a 20 simple move SMA. Upper band is what? It's a 2 standard deviation 20 period SMA plus the 2 SD, and lower band, which is the lower band, is the 20 period SMA minus the 2 SD. I'm damn sure you know what is how to calculate the 2 standard deviation move, mean, mode, and all those things, right? X minus X bar. I don't go into the statistics of it, but one of the beautiful tools to understand the volatility is the standard deviation. This is what we use. I just explained the structure of what is Bollinger Band is. This is how the Bollinger Band structure is built. How do we use this? Okay. First thing I'll explain one of the beautiful uses of Bollinger Band in terms of trend identification. You know, there are bull market, bear market, and sideways market. 3 kinds of market you always experience in your markets, any market for that matter. So one of the beautiful uses of Bollinger Band is it will identify the top and it will identify the bottom. How can I use this? I can use it for stop and reverse. That means what? If I am already bullish, if I have already bought into a stock, and if it is trying to form a top, that means what? I can exit my buy position, I can reverse and start selling the position. So one of the best uses of Bollinger Band is this, which is reversal pattern, which is trend reversal patterns, obviously. How does the reversal pattern looks like is this? You have a simple moving average here, and you will see price action like this. Price goes up, comes down, goes up, comes down, goes up, comes down. And this is a 2 standard deviation band, which I am showing to you. Okay. What happens? Market is going up like this, comes down, but next time what market does is it is unable to close outside the 2 standard deviation. Like, let me show that example for you. Okay. So that you will understand things a little better. A flirt which I saw was HDFC Bank. Okay. HDFC Bank. Let's go to daily chart. Can you see this here? See, market was going up. Every time market came to this middle band, it was taking support and bouncing off. Every time market came to this middle band, took support and bouncing off. Again here, bounces off. Again here, bounces off. Every time market bounces off, look at this price action. Price is closing outside the band. Price is closing outside the band. Here also price is closing outside the band. Here also price close outside the band. Here price hardly touches the band. Market comes back, takes support the middle band as usual, goes up, but this time price is unable to break the upper band. What does this signify? What does it signify? Let me explain this on a graph. Let's just take the same HDFC example here. What is happening here is, let's assume HDFC Bank every day, let's say the average price per day is, let's say 500. Every day market is going to 480 on the downside, lower side, upside 520. Right? Next day it went to 470, it went to 530. That means what? From the average, it is going 30 points away, 30 points upside, 30 points downside. Next day it goes 480 and 520. Next day 490, 510. Next day not even going beyond 495. On the upside, it is not going beyond 505. What does mean is, first day it could go 20 points below, 20 points above. See, if market has to go 20 points below, 20 points above, there should be some sort of buying and selling. That means what? Sellers and numbers, if you look at the participants, there should be decent enough participation to take the market 4% up or 4% down. Second day, 30 points up, 30 points up, which is 6% up, 6% down. That means what? There are aggressive buyers and aggressive sellers who are able to move the prices 6% down or 6% up. That means what? There is an aggression. Second day, it again comes back to 485.20, which is 4% above and 4% below the mean. Next day, it doesn't have the strength. It doesn't have the strength to even go beyond 2% from the mean. And the last day, the movement is hardly 1% above, 1% below. What does it say is the aggression of the buyers and sellers is slowly coming down. Can we say this? The aggression, the let's say first day there was 2 lakh, 3 lakh, 4 lakh volumes. Second day, not even that, less than that. Third day, even less than that. What is happening is market which was too volatile, it is now market is getting less volatile. Can you see that? Market which had the potential to go outside the 2 standard deviation, now it is unable to go beyond 2 standard deviation. That means what? There is a divergence, not in the momentum indicator, but there is a divergence in volatility. That means what? Market which was so volatile, let's assume Nifty. September, October, 200 point up and down. Every day, Nifty was moving 200 point up and down. Either up or either down, either up or down. Somewhere near October end, the volatility came down. Right? Now again from yesterday, Thursday, Friday, again the volatility is kicking in, back. Monday, again there is a gap down. Right? What is happening is, market becomes volatile and less volatile. It becomes more volatile and less volatile. There's a contraction and expansion, contraction, expansion. Exactly what is happening is here, HDFC Bank, what was happening is, market which was, buyers were able to push the prices above the 2 standard deviation. First time. Again, market buyers were able to push the prices outside the 2 standard deviation. Again, comes back to the middle band, goes up. Again, market buyers were able to push the prices above the 2 standard deviation curve, comes back to the middle band. Again, fourth time, again they could take the prices outside the 2 standard deviation. Fifth time, they could touch it. Sixth time, they could hardly manage to take it away from the middle band. What is happening here is, the buyers who had the strength to take the prices outside the 2 standard deviation, now they have no energy left to take the prices outside the 2 standard deviation. And this causes there's a divergence in volatility. What does that mean? Means the buyers are no more strong. This, when buyers are no more strong, market will fall on its own weight. You know this. If there is no lack of buying, will bring the market down, but lack of selling will not take the market up. Understand this. It's like gravity. If you're going up the hill, you need a lot of strength, but down the hill, you don't have to do anything. Gravity will pull you down. The same way, buyers are losing the momentum. How did they know this? Bollinger Band said this. The buyers who had the strength to take the prices outside the 2 standard deviation, now they are no more strong. This calls for an exit of your buy positions if you had bought anywhere here, and reverse the trade. And what happened later on? You know the story. Market moved from 2,200 to this price. Again, I am seeing the same scenario right now here. See, market closed outside the Bollinger Band, came down. As usual, it took support at the middle band, went up, but this time prices are no more crossing the upper band, prices collapsed. You see this in HDFC Twins also, other one, HDFC Limited. See the same concept. Close outside the band, came down, touched the band. Third time, close outside the band, came to the middle band. This time, market were not strong enough to close the prices outside the 2 standard deviation move. That means lack of buying strength here. If you have understood this, I would have shorted when the middle band broke. short was there. You know, global markets are falling, collapsing. Let's look at Dow Jones. How did the market made a top? Was there any signal using Bollinger Band? Look at this. This is Dow Jones Industrial Average. Market was taking support middle band, going out, closing outside the band, came back to support at middle band, goes out, closes outside the band, comes down. Next time when market bounces off, but this time market did not have the strength. The buyers were not strong enough to push the prices outside the 2 standard deviation. This called for a top, and you know the story here. This top was called somewhere at 26,851, now 21,000. Right? Let's see other markets. This is DAX, Germany. Look at this. Look at this. Outside the band closing, goes out, comes back. Next time, it doesn't have the strength to close outside the Bollinger Band, and thus enter the story. Now you see DAX. You see Nikkei. This is Japan. See here, it closes outside the band, comes inside the band. Next time, doesn't have the power to close outside the band, and the story reveals itself again. NSCI. Let me show you Nifty. It works on daily, hourly, weekly, monthly, anything. Right? Let's see again. Look at this. This is a Nifty hourly chart. You saw from 10,300, you saw bounce to 11,000. See, every time market came to the middle band, it bounced off. Came to the middle band, bounced off. Closed outside the band, came back inside, took support in the middle band, went up, but this time market did not have the strength to close outside the middle band, saying that buyers don't have the power. And from here, from 10,950, you know 10,660 now. Maruti. Look at the daily chart. See? Closing outside the band, came inside, next time, unable to take out. So this is one of the most, which calls for trend changes. One is the W tops, which is called as M tops, otherwise called double top. You have seen double top. This is also called as double top or outside inside, where outside market closes, next time doesn't have the power to close outside the Bollinger Band, it closes inside. It's called as outside inside or M top. You can call anything. Let's say DHFL, you know, all DHFL collapsed, all the finance stocks collapsed in September. Look at this. Even this side also, look at this. This is where the market fell. See, market went out, closed outside the band, came back inside the band. Next up move, it had no strength to close outside the Bollinger Band. This called for a M top in Bollinger Band. And this fall is no surprise. This fall is no surprise because market had already called a double top. M top or double top, anything for that matter. S Bank. Look at the market went outside the band, came back. See, market doesn't have the power to go outside the band. And you think this is all the stories, you can see the story after that. On a weekly chart also, look at this weekly setup of S Bank. See, took support of middle band, went out. See, this candle closing was outside the band, came back inside for next 2 weeks. Next time market tried to go up, but this time market doesn't have the strength to close outside the Bollinger Band. And this story is rest with you, S Bank, from 400 to 150. Right? This is how the market calls a top on the upside. On the flip side, you will see on the downside also, which is called as a double bottom or a W bottom. How does it look like is, see, Nifty moved from 10,300 level to 11,000. This recent rally from October and November. You will see how did the market made a bottom. Look at this. See here, flip side. See, when the buyers are strong, buyers will close outside the upper band. When sellers are strong, they will close below the lower band. See here from Nifty, which corrected from 11,800, this first dip, price closed outside the lower band, went up. Second time market closed outside the lower band, went up. Third time market closed outside the lower band, went up, took resistance at the middle band, came back in. But this time you can see the outer Bollinger Band is here, lower band is here, but the price is stopping here only, which says now sellers doesn't have the power to take prices outside the lower band, right? You have to make note of this if you really want to understand. See, price closing outside the upper band, that means buyers are in power. What is upper band? You know, upper band is what? 20 period simple moving average plus the 2 SD move. Plus the 2 SD move. That means what? Prices went above the average. Price closing outside the lower band. That means what? Sellers are in power. So LB, which is lower band, is 20 period simple moving average minus the 2 standard deviation. Make note of this. So this is very important for you. And look at this. If prices doesn't close outside the lower band, that means what? Sellers are not so aggressive. This is exactly what you saw now. See here, close outside the lower band means sellers are aggressive. Price closing outside the lower band, sellers are aggressive. Market comes back, resistance at the middle band comes down, and this time it is unable to close below the lower band, which says sellers are now no more aggressive. And from here, the story is from 11,300, 10,200, it touched all the way to 11,000, right? See here also, market closed outside the band, came back in. Next time, market did not have the power to take prices outside the upper band, which is buyers are not aggressive here, sellers are not aggressive, which is outside. This is outside the band, this is inside the band. Price closing outside the band and price closing inside the band, which we'll call bottom reversal. What we spoke before this was a top reversal and this bottom reversal. If you are short and if you see this kind of an action, it is better be careful. This is exactly what I'm seeing right now in USD INR. Somebody said USD INR. Look at this. Market was closing outside the band. Market was closing outside the band, goes back in. Next time, right now, market is closing here. So we'll have to watch this. So how do I watch this? Like this. If you know a little bit of price action on Dow theory and patterns, if you know, this clear cut a rectangle. Range bound market. How do I trade this? Is this. This is a range bound market is here. Upper side it is unable to cross 70.4 and downside it is unable to cross below 69.8. If tomorrow it breaks above 70.4, then for me on daily chart, outside inside confirms to me and I can expect 72 to be back, right? So first target would be for me on 70.8 and next target would be somewhere around 72. Even on this, look at this. USDNR was closely coming to the middle band, taking support, going outside the upper band, buyers are strong, comes back to the middle band, goes out, again goes out to the strong, prices closing outside the band, comes back. This time, USDINR did not have, the buyers did not have the strength to close outside the upper band. This called for a top on USDINR. From there, market collapsed. Any questions? Crude, we'll see, Rajiv. We'll see crude. Okay. Let me explain the concept, then let me show you the crude prices. Lot of stocks which moved up, recently in our market. Every stock had a W button. See, price closing outside the band, goes out, inside the band, comes back. This time sellers did not have the strength to close outside the lower band. From here, 21,000 to 24,000. If you know this concept, you would have traded this outside inside. Look at Escorts. Look at this. Closing outside the band, goes out into the middle band, get resistance, comes back. This time does not have the strength. From 572, it touched all the way to 706. Not a small move, it is 20% move, sir. Bata. Look at this. Market fell. Market close outside the band. When I say candle closing outside the lower band, goes out to the middle band, get resistance, comes back. This time price doesn't have the strength. Sellers don't have the strength to close the prices outside the lower band, giving rise to divergence in volatility. From their market you saw. From here, 877, 1120. Outside, inside. Bottom reversal, right? Market was falling and this market made a bottom with the kind of a W bottom and market is moving up right now. Any stock for that matter. Let me pick up a few more examples for you. Nifty, yes. Apollo Tire, Marico. Let's see Marico. See, market was falling. Price close outside the band. Price close outside the band. Goes out. Hit the middle band resistance. Comes back. But this time, sellers don't have the courage or power to close outside the lower band, saying sellers are losing momentum. And market makes this. Right? This is called as W bottom. Two things we discussed. One is top reversal, which is an M top. What is a typical? You will see on the first top, M top is double top. I mean, two tops are there. Two tops are there. First top, price closes outside the upper band. Second top, price closes inside the band, inside the upper band, which says that buyers are not that aggressive. Buyers are losing strength. This is a top reversal pattern where with candle confirmation, we would short. We should short this or at least exit your long positions. At least exit your long positions. Next one was bottom reversal. That means how will the bottom form in the market? One is it's called as a double bottom, W or double bottom. How do you use this? First bottom, price closing outside the band, outside the lower band this time. Second bottom, you will see price closing inside the lower band, which says sellers are not that aggressive. What we can do is, upon the candle confirmation, if you have known candle confirmation, all those bullish engulfing, piercing patterns, morning stars, Arami patterns, if you know any of those things, we should go long. So two patterns for buying and selling, right? Once this top and bottoms are found, Bollinger Band behaves in a very, very different way. I'll show it to you how it behaves. Okay. Let me show that to you. and BTC. Let me show that in this chart. Okay. Let me show you on the Nifty chart how it behaves. See, market made a bottom here, outside closing, comes back here. It was not inside closing. Sometimes this happens. It moves out. Next, what happens? See, what happens in the complete move. In the complete move, you will see the prices are between the middle band and the upper band, middle band and upper band, middle band and upper band. This is one of the superb strength. This is where you need to concentrate. This is where you need to concentrate. See, once market gets bullish, every time market gives a small correction, it gets support the middle band. This is the first entry. First entry somewhere here. If you missed it, second entry. Again, market comes back. It will take support the middle band, bounces off. Comes back to the middle band, bounces off. Comes back to the middle band and bounces off from here. Comes back to the middle band, bounces off from here. You can see when a strongest trend, middle band will act as support. This is called as snap back to the middle band, or mean reversion. If you have known, it's like a pendulum. You know what pendulum does? Pendulum swings between one extreme to the other extreme, right? Upper band is one extreme. If it goes to the upper extreme, it will come back to the mean. It's called mean reversion. That means what? If the prices have traveled too far away from the mean, which is 20 period simple moving average here, it will snap back to the mean, which is mean reversion. Okay, this can be one of the strategies, or I could say I would use it for re-entries. I would re-enter. If I had bought it here, if it tagged the upper band, once it start leaving the band, I would exit and buy back here. Right? I would exit and buy back here. How do I exit? It goes outside the band and started correcting from there. Exit your profits, take your profits out, come back and re-enter as it start going up. Right? If you have missed one trade, then it is re-entries. So once you can see this in a bull market, once trends get established, first thing you will see is the price action will be in the upper half, which is above the middle band and around the upper band. This is the strength. This shows the strength. 20 period as simple moving average can be used for re-entries, and it will act as support in the bull market. And in the bear market, what happens? You can see this here. We were seeing, let's say, which was that? Bata. Let's take Bata. See here. In the bull market, you will see this Bollinger 20 period moving average will act as support. In a bear market, it will act as a resistance here. Like Adani, let me take Adani Ports, the previous sell-off. See here. In a bull market, this will act as resistance. The middle band will act as resistance. Middle band will act as resistance. In a bull market, the same middle band, in a strength, it will act as support. See here. So this is how you should define the trend. See here. These are re-entries for me. Got it? These are re-entries for me. Let me show you one trade. See, look at this. This is obviously bearish market and hourly chart. See, the middle band is acting as resistance, 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 comes back. In a bull market, the same middle band will start acting as support. Okay. So as long as middle band is held, nothing to worry about. You can keep the entry, right? If you see an outside inside, like this, which is the best chart for you to see, would be NSE Nifty. I'll show you a Nifty chart. See here. Market close outside, comes back to the middle band. As usual, middle band will act as support, goes out, this time unable to cross the middle band, comes down. Same middle band, which was acting as support here, now turned back and started acting as resistance here. Comes back, acts as resistance, comes back. See, same band, which will act as support in the bull market, the same band will start acting as resistance in a bear market. Same way, acted as support, goes outside the band, comes back to the middle band, takes support, goes out, but this time unable to cross the upper band, which shows bulls are losing momentum, comes back. Now, if there is a rally tomorrow, and if it comes back to the middle band, 10,777 or something, somewhere around, I'm going to short this. Right? See here. You saw outside the band. It is a bear market for sure. You saw outside closing. Goes back to the middle band resistance. Comes back. Again goes back to the middle band resistance. Comes back outside of the band. Closing outside the band. Goes out. Get resistance in the middle band. Comes back. This time unable to close outside the middle band. Outside the lower band. I mean. See now what happens? This is outside inside, which is W bottom. Goes out. Comes back. It is taking support here. Right? So once I have a outside inside or a W bottom, what do you anticipate is you anticipate price to touch outside the upper band, comes back, and the next dip you should see middle band acting as support. That is your confirmation. Yes, market is doing as anticipated. This is a re-entry. Right? This is the re-entry for you. Your anticipation should be this. Outside inside, which is W bottom, goes out, close outside the band, comes back, takes support the middle band and goes out. Very simple thing. In a bear market, you will see price always tagging the lower band. It will not tag the upper band. See this. This bearish market, you will see price outside the lower band, but it is nowhere close to upper band. In the same way, in a bull market, you will see prices nearer to the upper band, nowhere close to the lower band. This is what it is. Because buyers will go outside the 2 standard deviation, upper standard deviation. In the bearish side, sellers will push the prices below the 2 standard deviation. Lower band. Anticipation is this. Outside, inside, followed by a middle band support. And here is the gain. Got it? Here also. Outside, comes back to support, inside. And then you'll see middle band acting as resistance. This is how the price structures around the Bollinger Band. Right? Same thing is repeating here. See, outside, middle band support, goes out, inside, and the entire dip came. Here also, support goes out, but unable to cross outside the band, dip here. Next rally, if I see, probably 10,750, 780, again there's a dip. Sell-off will come. Same way as Bank Nifty also. See this? Outside, came back, inside, and this is not a small sell-off. See, 27,000 to 25,800. Not small sell-off. Outside, middle band support, middle band support, middle band support. This is the first time where middle band is disturbed now. And you know this story. Market moved from 27,400 to 26,900. 400 points move. Next rally, if the same middle band which was acting as support, turns around, start becoming resistance, that is called as change of polarity. the middle band, which was acting as support in the bull market, in the bear market, the same middle band will start acting as resistance. All right. Middle band, which was acting as support here in the bull market, it turned around and acting as resistance here. This concept of changing one to the other is called as change of polarity, which I am right now seeing in Nifty on a weekly setup, not on a daily setup, weekly setup. I'll show why it is. Look at this middle band support, closing outside the band, comes inside, closing outside the band, comes inside. Now this is not Bank Nifty. I was looking at Nifty. Very peculiar this is. See this? Hold on, Rajiv. I'm not right now discussing the trades right now. Hold on. See the Bollinger Band, the middle band was acting as support in the bull market. Correct? Nifty was in a bullish trend for almost last 3-4 years. Now what is happening is the same middle band which was acting as support, now recently from last 2 weeks, I am seeing a resistance there. See here. Here it was acting as support. Here it was acting as support. The same Bollinger Band, middle band, now it is acting as resistance. This is change of polarity on a weekly setup, sir. This is not a daily setup. This is a weekly setup. Weekly setups are even more stronger, right? Look at gold. Obviously, you know, this and gold will be always opposite, right? Look at gold futures. What is happening? See, this rally of gold is on an outside inside double bottom. See, market close outside the Bollinger Band. Look at this big white, green, red candle. The closing is outside the lower band, goes out, comes back. This time, gold sellers don't have the courage to close outside the lower band. They stopped here. Goes up. Look at this dip. Market went to 1248 on gold, comes back. This dip from 1248 to 1217, it got support on the middle band. Now it is going up. Market made a bottom. Gold made a bottom on a weekly setup. And gold will always make a bottom almost at the end of the year, every time. This is market made a bottom in November, December in gold in 2018. Go back. Look at this outside inside in 2016 November, December. Outside inside on a weekly setup, market went up. Gold, it's cyclical, right? Gold usually makes a bottom during end of the year. See here again, here also. December 2016, market made a bottom in gold and went up. Again, gold made a bottom, so again back in the same November, December of this year, again going up. Outside, inside this is. Right? See now dip on gold from 1255 to 1240 took support the middle band and going up now. Any dip here, I'm buying back again. Somebody wanted crude. Let's see crude oil. Look at this. The entire move on crude oil, it took resistance at the middle band for about 1 week back and collapsed from 52 to 42. I'll show on the weekly chart how it made a bottom. Look at this. Look at this, a weekly setup. Hold on, Ashok, I'll get back to you. This is a weekly setup of crude oil. See middle band support, market bounces off, prices closes outside the upper band, that means bulls are strong, comes back, next up move, market is unable to close the prices outside the upper band, and from there you saw this dip. This high was $75, now it is $42. This is outside inside on the crude oil. Okay. And if you know something about Dow theory, there is something called a bull trap. See, this was a resistance. This was an old resistance. I'm drawing a line there. This resistance was broken here. Within 3 to 4 days, price closed inside the resistance, which is what this rally was there to trap the bulls. People were bullish. Usually what people do is, if resistance breaks, they buy. If resistance broke, they bought, and they're last people to buy. From there, market came back. See, within 3 to 4 candles, it should not come back to the resistance zone. If it is coming back, that means it is trapping. That rally was just to trap the bulls. Bulls were trapped, and you see the market down. And again, in this daily chart, middle band resistance 1 week back on crude oil dip. Yes, Ashok, you had a question. Can I take the questions probably at the end of this? Let me finish off what I want to finish. Would you mind? And crude made a top. There's an outside inside. And crude made a bottom somewhere in 2016 Jan Feb based on the same outside inside. See this? Market was falling. Look at the price closing outside the middle band, outside the lower band, goes out, comes back. This time market doesn't have the power to close outside the lower band. Outside inside, W bottom. This was the bottom at $31. From $31, it made all the way up to $76. It doubled almost, more than double, right? This is how you should use. You should use stop reversals. Once stop reversals you see, you should anticipate a change in polarity. That means the middle band, which is acting as support, should act as resistance, right? Once you have this, you know, obviously market will not go up straight, doesn't go down straight, right? I'll save this. I'll save this for you. Let me take a new one. You know, obviously market doesn't go up straight, go down straight, right? Market makes a rally, it makes a top. It is usually called as distribution phase in your Dow theory. Comes down, market makes keep blowing lower highs, lower lows. After a substantial move, what happens? Market goes range bound. Market goes range bound, and again next market start going down like this. Okay. 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 So you know this complete action, a distribution phase followed by lower highs and lower lows, and there is a somewhere in between after a substantial, which like, see, if you're trekking, you cannot trek 10 kilometers, 15 kilometers in a go. After 6-7 kilometers, you may feel like resting. Even the market will also feel like resting. Okay, where market is clearly trending down or trending up, right? And market goes into rest. That means what? Prices were falling crazily. Now it halts for a while, and then again the downward momentum picks up. What happens here is, in our chart, this is called as a squeeze pattern. That means what? Bollinger Band gets squeezed. I'll show that to you. Look at this. This is called as one of the beautiful setups. Look at, I'm just connecting the lower band to the upper band. Look at the distance from lower to the upper band. It is wide. It is wide. And all of a sudden, the middle band, so lower to upper band, the distance between these two bands will shrink. That means what? The bands are shrinking. The bands are shrinking. This is called as squeezing of the bands. That means what? It's like a coiled spring. See, you know, in the market, even in the economic cycles are cyclical, right? Expansion in the business cycle to the contraction to expansion. This is always cyclical. Even in price action, cyclical. What happens? The Bollinger Band were wide. Now they got squeezed. You remember, if you're an option buyer, if you are an option buyer, if you buy an option, you want the market to perform faster. Correct? If because if it doesn't perform more than 2 to 3 days, you should keep a time stop. Time stop should also be an option buying. In this case also, this is one of the best setups, because once it breaks outside the squeeze, that means what? Bollinger Band was wide apart. Now it went into very, very consolidation mode. From there, if it breaks out like this, because it's a coiled spring, if you squeeze the spring, the tension builds up. And once you release the spring, it will bounce, right? Like this only. So this is a time where you go and buy an option. It's called squeeze breakout. I show classic example of squeeze breakout. See, look at the width between the bands. Wide, I'm just connecting lower to the upper. Look at this. Here, the width between upper and lower band came very, very close, and then it spurted out, right? This is called a squeeze breakout, wherein the contraction of the bands will lead to the expansion. You know, if you have learned anything about options, you know, you will buy in a low IV environment and you sell in a high IV environment. High volatility to implied volatility, IVs, right? This is where the volatility is too less. And this is best time to buy an option once it closes outside the band. This is the best time to go buy a naked call or naked put in whichever direction the market moves out. Because low IV, that means coiled spring, it broke out. When the price closes outside the upper band, I'm going to buy call option. If the same squeeze was on the downside, we saw this in crude oil. Look at the crude oil. Look at this. The difference between upper and lower band was too wide. Now there was shrinking here. You can see there's a shrink here and broke out. And from there, 49 to 42, 20% move was very quick. Almost 15% move was very quick, because see, for about 15 days, it went sideways, no action, coiled spring, then spurt out. This is where it is good to buy put option. Unfortunately, in India, commodities and options are not going well. You know this, right? This is where you should be alert and start selling it. This is where you go and buy put option. How do I understand this? There is an indicator for this. It's called as bandwidth. Okay, Bollinger bandwidth. See, what is this saying? The bandwidth at this tip was the highest here. From the highest, it dipped to the lowest here. From there, again, it picked up. That means what? The bandwidth from wide, it became squeeze, and from squeeze, it again expanding. You can see Bollinger Bands are now going farther and farther away. Here, Bollinger Bands were coming closer and closer. This is where it is best to buy an option, right? Because if you're a buyer of an option, you want the option to perform very quickly. Otherwise, you will lose on theta. I'm damn sure you are aware of those things. If you've done options, obviously options are best to do that. Even look at gold. It broke out of squeeze on daily chart. See here, market was going, look at this Bollinger Band, it squeezed and broke out. From there, it is expanding. Any dip, I'm going to buy this. I will show you a classic example of Yes Bank. Same example, the 2013-14. Not 2013, look at this. 2014, look at this. As usual, Bollinger Band, middle band resistance. It is a bear market, middle band resistance, bear market. Outside here, inside here. And look at how the Bollinger Band got squeezed. Obviously, there is no momentum. Lowest IV possible. From there, once expansion comes, look at this. Obviously, after that, middle band support, middle band support, middle band support, re-entries. This is the best time. Probably your options would have tripled, because it moved from 63 to 80 in a matter of 4 days. Squeeze breakout. Right? Beautiful pattern, that is. You should never ever miss. If you're option trader and if you see a squeeze anywhere, never ever miss this. Okay. Let me give you 1-2 examples as in, right? Tech Mahindra. Tech Mahindra is getting into squeeze pattern now. Tech M. Look at this. Look at the bandwidth. It is lowest, right? What is happening here? If you have learned something on Dow theory, right? What is this called? I'm just matching the tops and matching the bottoms. Is it not a triangle? Triangle. And Bollinger Band is getting squeezed. If this breaks out and the volatility, IVs have been squeezed, the bandwidth is at the lowest now, right? If this breaks out, then it is a time to buy options. If it's going to break above or break below, market will choose. If it's going to break above, time to buy call option. Break below, time to buy put option. It is getting squeezed now. Watch out Tech Mahindra for squeeze breakout. Right? ONGC on hourly, I saw a squeeze. Let me show that to you. ONGC on an hourly chart, I saw a squeeze. Look at this. The bands were so wide, so wide, so wide. Now for about last 6-7 days, it is going in a very, very range bound. And even bandwidth is so low. Once it breaks out, it's going to go crazy. It is a short trade because it is an hourly chart. Tech Mahindra was on daily chart. Hourly chart maybe 2%, 3%. Walk away with it. Right? So what all you learned was this. Let me brush up. What all you learned? First you learned something called as trend reversal, which is top reversal, which is supposed to be M tops, outside, inside. After M top is formed, then you will see bottom reversal at the bottom, W bottoms. Then I said middle band acting as support in bull market and middle band acting as resistance in bear market. Right? You will see change of polarity. The same change of polarity is based on the middle band. Change of polarity based on the middle band. For somebody who is interested in options, squeeze, wherein both the bands, upper and lower, tighten up, right? And then breaks out. This is a time to buy options. You can use something called as bandwidth Bollinger, BB bandwidth, which is there in your money control. You can use that. As I showed here, go to indicators, bandwidth. Why bandwidth? It will show you the width between the upper and lower band is so tight, that is, it is squeezing. It's going to break out soon. And squeeze breakout will give you quick money. That's why I said buy options. Right? I think this is what I want to teach. Probably I've extended my timings. There's a lot more to discuss about Bollinger Band and options, but given us time constraint, this is what we could cover. Any questions? Now you can raise the questions. You can open.
Yeah, I think all of you can unmute and ask your question one by one. Yeah, I think Ashok had a question, huh?
Ashok, silver. Unfortunately, it is lagging the gold because gold and silver usually go hand in hand, right? But this is yet to break the resistance here on daily chart. See this. Okay, it's going in squeeze or going in rectangle. If you know Dow theory, this is called as a rectangle pattern. It is yet to break this out. If this breaks out, then it is going to set a trend. It is yet to break out. So you should watch above 14.9, around 15, international markets, not Indian. Yeah. Anything else?
Yeah, Bharat, we had a question like, is it better to go with a 1 hour chart or a daily chart?
You can use, if you're a short-term
Like
intraday trader,
in
depends
your
on your time frame, where you want to go. If you want to be on a positional side, daily chart. Intraday, 1 or 2 days, you can do hourly charts.
like for example, like moving averages and all works well on a 1 hour chart, but not on a weekly chart.
Weekly chart works fantastic. See, higher the time frame you go, it is good.
For boiling a bunch.
Any patterns, candlestick patterns works on a higher time frames better, not on daily chart, on an hourly 15-minute charts. So weekly is fantastic, daily is good, hourly for a short-term trade.
Sure. Okay, I think other participants, they can unmute and ask questions. Vinay, Anand sir, Rajiv. Yeah.
Can I use any other chart other than candlestick, like Ikanashi?
Ikanashi is okay if you want to use Ikanashi. Ikanashi is nothing but a candlestick. It means more or less candlesticks only, but combined. But I would see much on candlesticks also. Ikanashi is almost equal to candlesticks only, right?
Now, if you put a Renko chart, will the Bollinger Band be based on the original price data calculation, or will it be based on the Renko?
Not advisable.
Achha.
Renko is not advisable. It's called a noiseless chart. Renko, like point and figure, these are all noiseless charts.
Okay.
You will not use this on this. Better to use on candlesticks. At the most, you can use it on Ikanashi. But I would rather use it for candlesticks.
Hi, this is Rajiv here. I would like to know exactly the stop loss. Means, if at all we have taken a trade on the basis of it, and what could be the stop loss to keep? Where exactly to keep a stop loss?
Strategy. M top on which are you asking stop loss for? This one
or W top, means either of it.
W top I would usually keep the highest high, above the highest high always.
Okay.
Yeah.
And W top lowest low.
It's the lowest low. Below the low, at least 0.5%, 1% below it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And this bands, what do you call, shaping downward or an upward, does it have any impact? Like I've seen sometimes like...
very much.
Yeah.
What I was trying to tell you was the sloping up, sloping down.
Yes.
Okay. You can see here the Bollinger Bands are clearly sloping up, which shows the strength in the bull market.
Okay.
Okay. Whereas here, the Bollinger Band are zigzag. So how do I use this as is, see, if I have two stocks, one is at support, both are at support. Let's assume both are at support. I would rather prefer something which is sloping up because the activity is good here rather than here.
Okay.
Stock selection.
Okay.
I would rather use good trended stock, right, rather than sideways market.
Yeah.
So when Bollinger Bands are trending up, sloping up or sloping down, it is usually trended. And Bollinger Band, when they start becoming horizontal like this, it is usually sideways.
Okay.
That's how we use.
Yeah.
Any other question?
And one more thing, what was the setups for Bollinger Band which you had kept? I logged in late. Sorry.
Okay. What were you asking? 20 and 2.
20 and 2, is it?
Yeah, 20 period simple moving average and 2 standard deviation as recommended by Bollinger himself, because I learned from him and I have found this better than anything else. Lot more. We can actually, there are a lot of mechanical systems built on Bollinger Band, but I think it becomes too much for the day, so I have to restrict somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other question?
Yeah. Fine. I think we don't have any more questions. So what we will do on behalf of all the members of like-minded traders group and all the participants, I would thank you all for attending and a big warmly thank you for Bharat for conducting this session. And let's see if the time permits in future, we will conduct some more sessions. You can always message me or even write a mail when you have questions with regard to the Bollinger Band. I think Bharat can share the email ID with the group.
Yeah, you have this email ID here.
Yeah, just type in there. Na? On the Paint, you can type it.
Very much, very much. I'll pick it up.
Okay. So thank you, friends.
So this is the email ID. You can
Thank
see.
you, Bharat.
Thank you. Hope you liked.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thanks, Bharat. It was really wonderful, and thanks for spending time on the holiday.
Oh, no issues. Always my pleasure. So this is the one. This is the email ID where you need to write to if you have anything. It's watsonmiller.in@gmail.com. Okay. This is the email ID. Anything, write to us. We'll try to conduct as much as possible based on time availability. We can speak about candlesticks, Dow theory. I learned candlestick from Steve Nielsen himself. And I can also speak about options. I'm also an options guy. Right? We'll see if we can find time, all those things. Right?